accomplishment I'm most proud of was we've adjusted our police officers' salary and starting wages to something that's respectable, and that was huge in retaining qualified, certified officers, seasoned officers. For a long time we were a training grounds for police officers that would go to other municipalities and work for a higher wage. So that was a big accomplishment. I'm very proud of that. We've done a lot to I think build trust in the community. Um, we've started recording our council meetings and broadcasting them online on social media platforms. To add to the transparency of local government. We want people to know what we're doing. We want people to be involved, and there's just unfortunately a lot of people that can't make it out to meetings. So it was just a way for us to better connect with our citizens. So I'm proud of that. We work hard. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that go on in local government that maybe not earth-shattering, but they matter when you're not doing them correctly. We've got paved roadways that are quality paved roadways. We have good clean drinking water. We have a great fire department, second to none in terms of equipment and training and personnel. So those are the things that, from a local government perspective, that you want to see.
We talked about how the unrest around the country is driving people away from cities and suburbs and possibly into areas like this. Do you see that as a positive thing? Is that something that we should encourage and maybe promote to let people know we're out here and that this is a great place to live?
Sure. I think with it's twofold. You see a lot of unrest, and COVID really shut down a lot of these, and they're still shut down a lot of these larger areas. So I think the small town way of life is appealing to people right now because they feel safe. They feel safer. We don't have we don't have the luxury of going into town and choosing between 30 restaurants, but when you lay your head down at night, you feel relatively safe in your home. So I think that's the appeal. Obviously, social media has made the world a small place. Our kids and our citizens here aren't oblivious to what's going on around them. We understand it, and they're smart enough to know that it's happening. But here we're insulated from it, so it's nice.
What can we do to help people find this area, to promote it, to recruit? We talked about medical workers, doctors, trying to get good health care here. What can we do to help these people find us? Is there any kind of outreach that we're doing right now or planning?
Obviously, social media is huge. People turn to social media, they turn to the internet when they want information. We've not done that well from a local standpoint, from a local perspective. We've not done that well for a long time, and we're working on that. I think it's just a matter of, we have a great quality of life here. I think we keep on hitting on that. We focus on the fact that we've got a tremendous quality of life in Bluefield. But we have, like you said, we have to get the information out there. And I think that, you have to have forward thinkers, people that understand that this information more than likely is going to be found on the internet and find ways to do that. I don't have all the answers. Don't pretend to. But we have a young, energetic, new board. And hopefully we can all come together, coming from our various locations, and we can do something to really have emphasis on Bluefield and the good quality of life that we have.
If people can work in an area like this and do the same job and make the same money, what could we do to help facilitate them so that they can work here?
Having access to quality internet has been a problem in rural America for years, and it's something that that lawmakers on the state and federal level, they're not oblivious to it. These are conversations that are happening daily with our not just local folks, but our delegate for the area. He understands it, Will Moorfield. He's been an advocate for trying to bring quality internet to Southwest Virginia and making sure everybody has internet available, because, like you said, coronavirus changed the way that we do business. We do more business online now, and I don't think that's going to go back. I don't think that it's ever going to return to where the normal that we knew before COVID hit. So it's essential. But there's conversations that are already happening with local, state, and federal partners on how do we best do it. I'm definitely not the internet. I'm not a tech guy. I don't know how these things, in terms of the actual infrastructure, how they work together. I'm kind of dependent on people who are experts in that field. I do understand, though, the need for it. I do understand how important that is, but I can tell you that there's a lot of conversations going on at the local and state level on how we best get that out to our people, that we make it available to our citizens.
Do we have somebody that we are looking towards expertise? Is there somebody that we have in mind, or are we on the process of looking for people that do have this expertise to bring them in and try to help us with that?
Right. No. Again, I know that that conversation's happening, and we just had one of our federal representatives in a roundtable with some of the state and local representatives, and that was a topic of discussion. I don't know that there's any concrete plans right now, but they're talking about it. We have a new member that we're adding to council, and that is his forte, and where it's really nice to have him and his experience and his knowledge in that field. He's a fiber guy. That's what his company does. Is they provide the network for these, or the actual infrastructure for internet.
Right.
So it's nice to be able to pick his brain, being a subject matter expert, and ask him those questions. Again, I'm relying upon those folks.
Right.
But I do understand that it's essential. Right.
Okay. Hey, you believe this is a good thing that we'll try to bring people in? Or, I mean, we talked about that there are some people that, what was the bedroom community?
Yeah.
What was it? Somebody was saying it, I think it was Rick, that, some people like the sleepy town. They don't want more people coming in. Do you see any pushback if we go ahead with this policy?
Give you an example. When Pocahontas Prison, when it was built,
right,
we saw a lot of folks move in the area from larger cities, and it was an adjustment. It was an adjustment for them,
yeah,
and it was an adjustment for folks that have lived here for generations. And they didn't just follow work; they followed inmates that lived in the facility. So it was folks that come from a lot of unsavory areas. So again, it was an adjustment, but I don't necessarily think that it's a negative thing. I mean, anytime that we can bring people in, if they're willing to work and be part of a community, and at least try to, I like the fact that there's diversity. Okay, I think it just adds to the benefit of the community. But there has to be some assimilation, because we're a different area than big metropolitan areas. I think our values are a little bit different. As long as we can keep what makes us unique in that aspect and that respect, I think it's fine.
What do you think keeps us unique? What qualities do we have here?
You can go to a stranger's house in the town of Bluefield if you need something, and more than likely they will help you. You're not going to find that in a larger area, because there's just that general mistrust of a stranger. We still have people with good hearts here who believe, for the most part, that people are good. I think that makes it special.
If there's one thing that you want people of Bluefield to know that the town council is doing, or the direction that the council would like to go in, what message would you have for them? What would you like? What is the one thing you really want people to know about what you're doing?
I know there's a lot of uneasiness with this pandemic. We've seen good jobs. We're losing good jobs. We lost a hospital recently, and that did not impact us not only with losing good jobs, but our health care. People are wondering where are we going to find good health care, quality health care specialists. For right now, the emergency ED is open at Bluefield, but for how long? And I think there's a lot of anxiety. For the most part, that's what I hear when I talk to people that live in this town. Healthcare seems to be the number one issue that they're concerned about, and we're working on it. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but I guarantee that we're going to work to try to make sure that there's some form of quality healthcare that we could try to bring to this area. I can't promise it, but we're going to work hard towards it. And we're going to continue to work hard to provide a tremendous quality of life. And I think that's what makes us special. We have a great quality of life in Bluefield. We're safe, it's clean, it's a great place to raise kids, and we're going to try to keep it that way. And the only way that we do that is work together. And I know that's cheesy and cliche, but I mean it. And we have a great group of young, energetic people that are willing to work together to make this place better than what we found.
Well, do you think that's a great selling point for people to come and live here, coming from a big city where I know they feel totally disconnected from their government. They don't even know who they're voting for, whereas here, you could just walk up to the town council member and see how he's doing or whatever. They'll recognize you. People know you by name. And,
absolutely.
Everybody's interconnected here. So,
I'm heavily involved in the community with youth sports, with various different organizations. So you see familiar faces everywhere you go, and it's great. Now, from an elected standpoint, from an elected official standpoint, a lot of times that means that you're always talking business, so it can be a little bit tiresome. But Whenever I get tired of that, the day that I get tired of talking to people is the day that I'll hang this up, because that's truly what you run to be an advocate for the citizens of the town. You're looking out for their best interest, and it's nice. But that small town element is nice, because you feel personally connected to everybody, really. I mean, I don't know how many degrees of separation they have between everybody in this town. Most of the time, if you know a person, I mean,
Right.
you know the next and the day. I mean, we're all connected some way or another.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to say, or are you good?